Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the monorail station.
Hey everybody, Merry Christmas Eve. This is Tim Scott.
It's Christmas Eve already?
It is.
I gotta go. I got shopping to do.
that sounds about right for you, actually.
Yeah. Merry Christmas Eve to you. This is Bob Collar, episode number 80, Tim.
I'm very excited for this episode number 80. Do you know why, Bob? I know
I
you know
why.
Let's make this special announcement to our listeners.
Okay.
And here it goes. Our Christmas gift.
Well, really.
Gift or punishment.
We're like the ghost of Christmas future.
That's right.
We're not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing.
We'll find out with the feedback. This is the first of the ResortLoop.com Holiday-thon 2013.
Woohoo!
What? You're saying, what's that mean? That means we're going to do a show every day between now, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Day.
What?
I know, that's 9 shows posted in a row.
I didn't sign up for this.
No, you didn't. Other shows shut down. They say, we'll see you after the first of the year.
Not us.
No, we're going to drive this into the ground.
We are definitely jumping the shark on this.
That has to be it.
Yeah, this could be the end. We will, of course, after this, take a 6-month hiatus.
That's right. See you July 4th, everybody.
Yeah. Anyway.
So let the Holiday-thon 2013 begin.
Yes. And by the way, welcome back. Hope that you survive. Well, obviously, you survived the frozen tundra of Northeast Ohio.
It was frigid out there, Bob, I'll be honest. I lost things you shouldn't lose in the cold.
That's called frostbite.
I know it is. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Before this gets really bad, we better move on with some shout-outs. What do you say?
Absolutely.
We've got Bringing Balance to the Disney Podcast Realm. This is all on our iTunes, which, by the way, again, thank you so much for going to iTunes, giving us a rating, and writing us a little note from Drew2988, who says, Tim and Bob have created a show that's objective, positive, inviting. While many other podcasts provide detailed, in-depth assessment, we don't do that.
No.
Yes,
he walked away.
Sometimes it feels that fun listening to them as well. Tim and Bob choose to talk about their favorite resorts, special trips, or personal experiences as they adventure in different Disney travel mediums. Thank you, Drew. He goes on with other stuff, but I don't want to get too syrupy here.
Excellent. We had another review. This one is by Disney Music Lover. He said, awesome podcast. And he goes, Tim and Bob are so great together. It is fun to listen to them banter. I guess that's what we're doing. But they said, thanks so much for your work, Looper Nation. So awesome.
We should just set up a recorder while we're at work, because it's like, no, I'm not doing it.
9 in a row? You're crazy.
Yeah, exactly. When's my lunch? Jason Oz, we know Jason. Thank you, Jason, for posting on iTunes. Says, love the show. Host have a good rapport and don't try to act like experts. No, we don't.
We know better. We know who we are.
Exactly. Just two guys that love Disney, and that is who we are.
Excellent. And then we have a Super Looper. Not Soupy Sales, but Super Looper. He calls us, now get this, the best of the Disney podcasts.
What?
I know. Isn't that cool?
Oh, my goodness.
But they go on to say this is my favorite of the 4 Disney podcasts that they listen to. Laid-back approach, but always really fun and a positive listen. Self-deprecating humor to the max. I don't think we're that funny. You think we're funny?
I'm not. You're not. Wait, who? What? I don't know.
Oh, my gosh. Because creative topics, great trip reviews, tons of interaction with the listeners, and all in a humorous, family-friendly package. And I like stressing the family-friendly. I think that's important.
Hey, Tim, I got one more shout-out.
All right, cool.
Before we get on with the show. And this one comes, this is kind of a special one. This comes from Buffalo Bysmith, I guess it is, on
I think so, yes.
Buffalo Bysmith on the Twitter. He says, we're surprising his twin daughters. What?
Get out.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
With a trip on December 27th through January 2nd. Ladies, girls.
Oh.
This is a special shout out for Myra and Sadie. So you're getting a little extra Christmas present tonight.
Oh, someone's going to Disney.
You're going to Disney. I want to see some video of that, by the way.
Absolutely. I hope you recorded the announcement.
Absolutely. So Merry Christmas, girls, and have a great trip coming up here in just a couple days.
You are going to have a fun New Year's trip. That is awesome. I thought the topic of today, on a lovely Christmas Eve, we are going to talk about what we consider to be magical minutia around the parks.
All right, you're going to have to explain that not just to our listeners, but to me. He's explained this like 4 times to me. I'm not quite sure I still understand.
Well, minutia means, just something small. Like not a huge major attraction. We all know those are magical. But what are some of the smaller things that you find magical? It could be just like a tiny little item, something out of the way that most people wouldn't think about, something off the beaten path, if you will.
I like this.
I think this is great.
I have one idea right off the top of my head. You ready for this?
I want you to say it before you forget what it is.
I do that an awful lot.
Well, that's how I work too.
And then I just scramble and throw words out. I'm going to tell you something that is just super, super magical about Disney that you just don't find. I guess you find it some places, but just not like you do at Disney. And that is, as you know, the towel animals when you come back to your room after housekeeping has taken care of the towel animals. I know that's not in the parks, but doesn't that just make your trip super magical?
It is very cool, and we always take a picture of them too.
Absolutely. Yeah, some are just ridiculously creative.
They do that on the cruise too?
I do know that. You've shown me pictures. Yes.
Towel animals, that is a great call.
Yeah. I it's one of those things that just makes you feel good. You're exhausted after such a long day at the parks, and you get back and there's a swan or the towels arranged in a Mickey head, something like that. It makes you feel good.
It does. I love it. Sometimes there's the monkey in the cruise ship hanging up from the curtain. It's great.
That's the one I just don't know how they do. That is amazing to me.
Here's one of mine. Now, this is almost everywhere throughout the parks, and you have to kind of look for it. The pressed pennies.
Ooh, yeah. You know what? My son has the book with pressed pennies from all over the place.
Oh, that is cool.
And he just stopped collecting those, and he's moved on to the pins. He likes collecting the pins now.
The pressed pennies are a gateway. a gateway.
Gateway souvenir.
Exactly. So you start collecting these because they have them all over the park. They have them, in the different parks. They have them at the resorts. Fort Wilderness usually has a couple good ones in there.
Absolutely.
So you always got to carry a few quarters, and it will carry shiny pennies.
Absolutely. That's those are always fantastic.
I'm a huge fan of the pressed pennies.
Absolutely. One that obviously this one's just out there all the time, but it just, for me, it makes the trip so much fun because no matter how many times you go to Walt Disney World or Disneyland, or I'm sure any of the Disney parks, you can't help but find something new, and that's always, of course, the hidden Mickeys. Oh,
that was on my list.
Was it on your list?
It was on my
I'm
list.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal it.
No, you're fine. Go.
But, now they just opened up that new Fantasyland. There's a hidden Tinkerbell in there.
What?
Yes.
I don't think I knew that. Did I know that?
You have to be standing. It's in, I think it's over by, Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's the Big Thunder Mountain. I think there's a hidden Tinkerbell in Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. But you got to be standing in just the right position in order to see the thing.
You're going to have to show me this.
And I understand also over at the new Fantasyland, over at the aerial ride, there is a certain spot that at a certain time of day, when the sun shines through these holes in the rocks, it makes a hidden Mickey.
Well, it's like National Treasure. What's going on?
I know it. Yet another Disney film.
Exactly. I am waiting for National Treasure 3.
Oh, I know.
Very excited.
Got to get Nicolas Cage out of that pyramid he's living in. And
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to move on to one of mine. And this, again, you don't go there for this, but I really enjoy it. The resort TV in the hotels.
oh, of course.
Who doesn't like watching Stacy?
Absolutely.
Now, granted, I usually don't sit down and watch the whole thing at once, but you kind of leave it on when you're coming in and out of the room, doing things in there. I enjoy that a lot.
Exactly. Yep. I used to love that tip of the day. Remember that? They do that little tip of the day thing. I used to love that.
And the little channel with the rolling calendar of events.
Yes. It's I have always thought Disney has all of these cable channels. Why don't they just put that on one of the cable channels? They could kind of butt that up against the stuff they're doing in Disneyland and the stuff they're doing in Disneyland Paris and Hong Kong Disneyland. They could just wrap all those up. Talk about your travel channel.
I would like a travel channel that covers travel. But that is true. I would pay extra for that.
I would love to just sit down. You're having a long day, winter like it is right now, and you just tune it in and sit back and watch Stacy and Henri, whoever's in Disneyland Paris. I don't know. It would be kind of fun.
And on the cruise ships, at least on the Wonder when we were on it, they had a Pixar channel on the boat.
Really?
Yeah, they had Pixar movies and like the shorts in between. It was excellent.
That is very cool.
So I'm just saying the resort TV, not something you actually go there to watch because you don't want to go there to watch TV, but it's a magical minutia of your vacation.
I like that. Are you ready for my next one?
I am. I'm sitting down. Wait, make sure our listeners are sitting down.
What?
Yeah, they're sitting down. You're good.
They're not even tuned in. They're unwrapping gifts right now. What are you kidding me? Or they're shopping.
Or they're getting ready for dinner. Absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, send us some cookies. We love.
Oh, we do love cookies.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yes.
We stole this idea.
I'm good with that.
All right. just listen. There it is. It's the music.
Oh.
The music. Everywhere you go, you're listening to that wonderful Disney music.
That's true. It's rarely totally quiet anywhere. If you listen, every area has its own little soundtrack.
Yep. We were over at the Wilderness Villas, which a great swimming pool over there. It's got the bubbling waters coming out, kind of like a hot springs. It's kind of supposed to be representing a hot springs. And I was just sitting there, and the kids are swimming and playing, and it got kind of quiet there for a second, and I heard the music.
Yes.
And it was I realized I was relatively close to one of the speakers, and I'm like, wow, even over here near a pool, you got the background music running all the time.
Yes, you do. And it's amazing how it transitions from like one area to another, and you don't even really notice it.
Right. Yeah, going from Adventureland into Fort Wilderness, or not Fort Wilderness, but Frontierland.
Right.
There's that slow transition, and you don't even hear it.
So true.
Love the music.
I'm going to go into something next that we even brought up on the past show, and it's something so you wouldn't even think about until you go to breakfast and you sit down and you have your Mickey waffle.
You got to let go of the Mickey waffle. They're not making them anymore.
You can get them at the parks or at the hotels. You just can't get the actual waffle maker for your home.
I know. You said you're going to keep saying this until Disney comes out with
How can they not sell it? How can they not sell it?
They do not want you to have the waffle maker.
But apparently they still make them because they put them on all the boats. On all the cruise ships, you can still get Mickey waffles. And there's nothing cooler than like cruising up in Alaska or, in the Caribbean, and at breakfast still having your Mickey waffle.
Okay, so the next time you guys cruise, here's what you got to do.
Here's what I do.
All right, here's what you do. You have, at your first port that you stop at, you get off. You don't get off. Oh. You have your family get off. Now, I've seen the size of your son. You run in to one of the kitchens, grab the waffle maker, run to the side of the boat, throw it over to him.
Okay.
All right.
He
finds a locker at a bus terminal.
Okay.
Hides it in the locker in the bus terminal. Now, here's the little gotcha there. You got to go back to wherever that port is. So you're going to have to go back to Alaska or the Caribbean.
Torture.
Yeah, that's rough. To get it back, because you can't bring it back on the ship because they'll just take it again.
I think our good friend Joe Quattrochi will work with me on this because he's the one that wanted it on our past show.
He could be waiting for you.
That's right.
At one of the ports. Throw it to Joe.
Yes.
Joe could then clone them with one of those 3D printers.
Of course.
This is getting really complicated.
You're going way. I appreciate the thought you put into this.
This is you started with National Treasure. I'm putting all the pieces together. All right, now my head hurts.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying I like the waffles, man.
Oh my gosh. Well, this kind of goes along with going to breakfast or going to dinner or going anywhere, and this is something that really. You just, I can't find it anywhere else. And whenever my family and I talk about where we're going to go on vacation, we always end up back at Disney because you get that Disney experience, which is always perfect. And that can only come from the cast members.
Absolutely.
They're so overlooked a lot of the times, especially when you're, if this is your first vacation down to Walt Disney World, you're so wrapped up and running to all of the rides and let's sit down and eat real quick, and you really don't pay attention sometimes to even the quick service folks, but it's a whole different atmosphere that they provide as cast members. I think you can't find it anywhere else.
No, they put up with a lot of people too.
Well, that's just it.
But they're so positive. They're always in such a good mood, especially if you smile back.
Yes.
Oh.
And I noticed, and I picked this tip up a long time ago, is whenever you're dealing with somebody, mention their name. Their name's on their badge.
Oh, with their hometown, yeah.
And their hometown. And one of the unique things was I noticed a person that was not too far from where we live. And I said, "Oh, you're from Warren, Ohio." And she said, "Yeah, not anymore."
Must have been about this time of year.
Yeah. She's like, "Nah, I'm never going back." So,
very cool. Well, I had something that's kind of along the same lines, but not really. Again, it's not a main attraction. I'm just going with the general forms of transportation around the resort.
Oh, that was on my list.
Was it? Oh,
yes.
First, you got the monorail, which we love.
Oh, the monorail.
You got the boat launches, the bigger boats, the Castaway and the Bon Voyage. Oh, and the friendship boats over at Epcot.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I'm a huge fan of the different transportation around the parks.
Absolutely. And that's always how we pick our resort. If it has multiple forms of transportation, that's a big plus for us. You got the Polynesian, the Grand Floridian, and the Contemporary and Wilderness Lodge. Well, not the Wilderness Lodge.
Lump it in there because you got that boat launch.
Yeah, they all have boat launches. They all have the buses, and they all have, except for the Wilderness Lodge, they got the monorail. I mean, that's what makes those sometimes really worth the money.
It does, especially if you don't want to rent a car.
Yeah, yeah. You got little kids, and you don't want to mess around, hopping back in the car and all of that, So, I've got one that I don't know. You tell me if it's magical to you.
Okay.
But that is, and again, something that's kind of overlooked is the grounds, the horticulture that you see, the flowers and the trees and the topiaries and all of that stuff that just adds a little bit. I mean, it is so well groomed.
Oh, absolutely.
Every inch.
Even the edging that they use around things.
Yeah.
It's impeccable. Yeah. I wish I could do that here.
And it seems like the flowers are always in bloom, no matter what time of year it is. And that's got to take a ton of work.
Oh, it has to. The horticulturists there must be busy all the time.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
You just can't really find a place that just doesn't look fantastic wherever you're driving around. So there's that.
Excellent. Oh, one other thing I just thought of.
Yeah.
The picture spots.
Oh, picture spots are fantastic.
Because sometimes you get so busy walking around that you're not really thinking about taking pictures.
Yep.
And you pass the little signs. Well, they used to say Kodak. I guess now they'll say Nikon, I guess.
Right.
But
right.
you just inspires you like this is a good place to take a picture. So you get your picture taken. Maybe ask somebody going by. They'll take a picture of your whole family for you, so you can get in some of the pictures. In case the PhotoPass people aren't around,
And that's something else too. Is even with the PhotoPass folks, and they'll take a picture with your camera.
Oh yeah,
they're not shy about it. They don't sit there and kind of hem-haw around. No, we're trying to sell you something. They know that you've already spent enough money to be there. They don't mind taking that picture with your own camera, which I think is it's so nice. And again, it goes back to the cast members, but Disney as a whole has said, don't worry about it. Just if they want a picture with their camera, take a picture with their camera.
Yeah, what are you going to say? No? You can't say no. Just do it.
Right.
This is the most magical place on earth. You can take our picture.
Absolutely. I also like the fact that there is more to do that you don't even know that there is to do.
Oh, that's so true.
The boat rentals, where you can rent the water mice, the pontoon boats, where you can rent the pontoon boats, golf. You can go golfing. They have some of the best golf courses on the planet, PGA Tour level golf courses.
Horseback riding.
Horseback
Fishing.
riding. Yeah, I mean, there's the list goes on and on. I'm sure there's a ton that we're missing. The fishing, yeah. There's just so much more to do. It's not like, and you and I know, we live close to Cedar Point. We've been to Cedar Point. Kennywood is not too far from us. We've been to Kennywood. Those are amusement parks. Those are parks where you go in, you ride the ride, you go home. Disney is just it's an experience when you go to Disney. And I don't mean to gloat. I'm not trying to, or not gloat, but be all mushy about this. But it's just it's a feeling that you get like no other.
It encompasses you.
It does. It does.
And you got to allow yourself a little bit of allow yourself to be taken in by all that.
Absolutely.
We both have a friend who just went down there, got back a couple weeks ago on vacation, and he went down there very skeptical.
Yeah.
And he came back with that gleam in his eye. Now, he wouldn't admit that we got him, but he's hooked. We know he's hooked.
He is hooked. Yes, he is. Oh, my gosh. He was wearing his Mickey sweatshirt the other day. So he's hooked. He can't. He says he's not going back, but he can't wait to go back. You can tell.
Oh, we know. We know what to look for.
Yeah. We'll be pushing the buttons. It'll be all right.
That's right. You got to lay off for a couple months and then just start sneaking in some clues here and there.
Absolutely. Oh, I got one last one, and then that's all I got that I can think of off the top of my head. And this is a biggie. And I have never experienced anything but this. So there may be times where this is not the case. I have not experienced it. But that is heated swimming pools.
Oh.
Even in Florida.
Yes.
You can, some of those pools, Stormalong Bay, you can just about walk right in, and it's like, it's a little cooler than taking a bath. but oh my gosh. There's nothing worse. I've gone all over this wonderful country, and there's nothing worse than jumping in a swimming pool that it's like they just skimmed the top layer of ice off of it.
Oh yeah, I'm a toe dipper. If it's not warm, I'm not going in.
Yeah. So they keep those pools at a very constant temperature, and I love that.
That is very cool. Like I said, it has to be pretty warm for me to get in, but I do enjoy the heated pools.
Yeah. So that's all I got, Tim.
Well, I think that was a good episode. I think we need to wrap it up because we've only got 8 more of these to do.
I got gift wrapping to do, man.
We'll hear it in the background. We're moving on.
Uh-oh. Did I miss it?
Yep.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it meant either. But everybody, thanks for joining us for show number 1 of the ResortLoop.com HolidayThon 2013. I'm Tim Scott. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm ResortLoopTim. We have a website also, ResortLoop.com.
And I am Resort Loop Bob on the Twitter, Facebook /ResortLoop. Don't forget to call us and give us your show opens on 414
WDW.
Loop.
That's right. We could use some opens if you're into that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Don't forget, thanks again for rating us on iTunes, and keep those coming as well. And where else can they listen to us, Tim?
They can always catch us on what we like to call the Stitcher.
The Stitcher.
Absolutely.
Not just Stitcher.
No. We got to qualify that.
That's right.
But everybody, thanks for joining us. This has been ResortLoop.com, the gateway to the magic.
See you, everybody.
See you tomorrow, everybody. Hey, Bob, breaking news. This just in.
Yes.
The Looper gear is out.
Woohoo!
I know, who'd have thought?
Who'd have thunk it?
Oh, my gosh.
You got, I don't think they'll get it by Christmas.
No, they won't. We were trying to, man. I just could not dot the T's and cross the I's quick enough.
Right, right. But, after Christmas, when you're taking all that other stuff back.
The stuff you really didn't want anyway.
You didn't want that anyway. You can use that money to get some Looper gear.
Absolutely.
And where can they find that? At Zazzle.com /ResortLoop plus com plus gifts. Just go to Zazzle and search ResortLoop.com.
Yeah. Zazzle.com /ResortLoop should get you right there.
Right. Or our website, which we have a link up for that.
Excellent. It's been a while. There's a few things on there, and we're going to add some more now that we got the ball rolling.
Excellent. Can't wait. Thanks, Tim.